Hello everybody. The phone almost dropped and the stream was interrupted, so this video will have a part 1 and part 2. This is now part 2. So, back to the point. Tamping. The coffee should extract for 25 to 30 seconds. And it will change based on the weather, based on the humidity, and it's the tamping that's going to allow you to control how quickly it extracts. So let's just give it a nice firm tamp, not too hard, but good and firm. Let's see how the coffee comes out. So basically, you'll try the first grind and you'll see how it pours. If it's pouring too fast, tamp it harder. If it's pouring too slow, tamp softer. So we preheat. Okay. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. Single and double. These buttons are now programmed differently, so it really matters which one you press. The top one is for single shot, the second from the top is double shot, and the third is Americano. And the Americano will not be run through. We're not going to be doing run through anymore because this Americano is Italian. It's supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be really good, and the people who tried it out have been given very, very positive reviews. So it's a single, double Americano. We're making a double, so we're going to press the second button. And let's just see how the coffee looks. Get a close look, guy, at the coffee. So it's pouring. I didn't time it, but it's thick. It's got a lot of crema. It's pouring nice and slowly, maybe a little bit too slowly, but see how it's not gushing out like it did before? This means that the coffee is really extracting properly, and we're going to have a very nice, flavorful coffee. Okay, this time, oh, that's why. Can't, Anne, can I use your phone for a sec? Oh, no, that's fine, that's fine. Basically, I would say that's perfect. That's the tamping process. So I won't show you right now because I don't have a timer. But you aim for about 25 seconds and it should be thick and creamy, and it was. So that's pretty much how to use this new grinder. I don't think there's anything else that you need to know, except that it grinds from this hopper into here and is then deposited into the portafilter. The blades need to be covered as they are. As you can see, they already are. And as the shift goes along, this is going to be the tricky part. You're going to need to read how much more do you need to grind into here to make sure that you don't run out by the end of the shift and at the same time don't have any waste. A few more little details. This surface right here, if you ever decide that, let's say you don't want to use that grind, or you didn't like it, or there's a problem, you could put it back in so you don't waste it, but it's good to avoid that if possible. But in any case, don't knock this surface. You can see right here there's a little sign that says no portafilter. That's because this is very fragile. So if you use it as kind of a surface for knocking, it will break. Also, when you clean around the grinder, which is much easier now with this small grinder, don't pull on the hopper. Oh, one essential thing I forgot to mention. You might be wondering, how do you do decaf now that we only have one hopper? Well, the answer is, we're going to have a separate container for the decaf. It won't be this, it will be a nicer container with a nicer scooper. But basically, this grinder allows for single and double shots. It's now not able to do decaf at the same time as regular. So what we'll do is grind all the decaf into a container before the shift. I might do that on a Friday before the weekend, or maybe the barista can do that every shift, but we'll see what works. If somebody orders a decaf, you'll just scoop I'll figure out what the right amount is, but let's say 2 teaspoons into the portafilter, that equals 1 shot, or 4 spoons equals 2 shots. So we'll keep the decaf pre-ground underneath. And yes, it isn't as fresh, but decaf, if you look it up, if you read about it, it's really inferior to regular coffee, and it's just the way it's got to be. So the decaf is now done pre-ground. It will still be fresh. One more little detail. When you're emptying out the hopper, you can now just remove the entire thing this, let's say this is closed, then you stick this nozzle into the bag and open this, the coffee pours into the bag, so that's much easier. Also, I'm sure there are many little things that I need to know about the maintenance of this machine I don't know yet. It's not as complex as the last machine, so there's not much you need to know. But I'll just make sure I find out how to clean this out, how to keep it from blocking, and all those kinds of things. So that's the new grinder, and another benefit is that it's quieter. It will be less distracting for John. It opens up the whole machine, so you can now see the beautiful mirror. This espresso machine, which is basically the Ferrari of espresso machines, it's not dominated by this huge other grinder that we used to have. So in many ways, this is just a much more authentic and aesthetic, beautiful piece of equipment. And I think the brewing experience is much more pleasant. There's much more aroma, and the coffee is better. I'll be coming around at the beginning of every shift that I can just to check up and make sure everything is going well and give more instruction if you need it. And I'll continue to discover more about it as time goes on. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy using this beautiful new machine.